Live to hard drive. Alright, so let's get all this stuff together. Whoever's playing it back needs to turn off the sound. Alright. Bam. Boom. Adam, you there?
I am now.
Okay. Jake?
Yep, I'm good.
Cool. I'm just going to wait till I see a few viewers on the alley on the bottom. Just go from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Trying to find any other settings I can put on here.
Christian, you'll want to highlight yourself because I only see me on the screen.
There you go. Alright. Let's just see here. Alright, we got two viewers so far. We'll wait probably 3 more minutes. We'll say 7-10 and we'll get actually started here.
I'm actually one of the viewers because I got the channel up.
We'll at least get started.
Although here, let me close it.
I mean, you can leave it up just in case. Doesn't really matter.
Nah, it'll bog down my internet though.
Alright, well, welcome everybody so far. Like I said, we're going to wait a few more minutes to get really started here. Just a few more minutes.
I'm still here, Christian.
I gotcha. Trying to figure out what the issue is with the chat. Two minutes.
Hey there, Steven.
You got the chat going now?
I'm not sure. No, that was an instant message.
I've got it set up. Actually, hold on. I'm trying to make sure I get it set through here. Cool. So the chat's working now through the live Hangout. All right.
Awesome.
Should be good to go. Wait 1 more minute. I'm gonna pull up the stats again. Go that away. All right. Don't want that. Okay. All right. You guys ready to get it started?
Uh-huh.
All right. Make sure I get this going right. Let's start at the beginning. All right. I'll tell you what. We'll go ahead and get started here. And boom. All right. Well, guys, welcome to our first real hangout of the year. Kind of getting back into the old swing of things with a few new ideas, at least, hopefully. My name's Christian. I'm the brain who started all this, but got a few other people with me. Jake Riley.
How's it going, guys?
Regan. All they're pretty much key contributors here. So what we're going to do is we've got pretty much just a presentation we're going to go through, kind of show some new things, talk about some old things as well, get started. You can type in questions you have through the live hangout if you guys are watching through YouTube. Definitely encourage that because we'll answer questions kind of as we go, and then if there's a lot towards the end, we'll knock those out there too. But we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm going to switch over to Jake real quick to get this started. And all right, so we'll get started here. Now, pretty much like we said, for today, we're going to just kind of introduce ourselves, talk about what we've done before, kind of what we're thinking about doing this year. Just kind of an overview of everything. So we'll start with Adam. Adam, introduce yourself, talk about what kind of got you started with weather, things like that.
Well, my name's Adam. I'm from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And, what got me into weather, I was 7 years old when a hailstorm hit my hometown in Crossville, Tennessee. It dropped like tennis ball size hail and even did some wind damage. In fact, it blew down like a 75, 80-foot walnut tree that was in my parents' backyard. Now, as far as what got me into chasing, when I was 12, a tornado hit my hometown. So going through that and also seeing a bunch of tornado-related shows on the Weather Channel like The Chase, Target Tornado, Enemy Wind. Yeah, that pretty much got me into chasing.
Oh
my goodness. All right, Jake, you're up.
My name's Jake Riley, and I'm currently residing in Union City, Tennessee. What got me started in chasing was a tornado actually hitting my house back in 2005. Thankfully, it wasn't a particularly strong one. It knocked out some windows, tore down a bunch of trees, and blew shingles off the roof, but it was scary enough that I didn't want to get caught off guard again, so I decided to learn what I could about it so that I could tell when it was going to happen next time, and it's just kind of spiraled from there. Turns out that I really enjoy weather, and I love being there firsthand and being able to help people that are in the position that I was in when my house got hit.
All right, well, as for me, again, my name is Christian Johnson. I now live in Norman, Oklahoma, which is actually very nice to say. Moved just a couple weeks ago from Tennessee out here, so kind of getting started in a new spot. But weather's always just kind of been something that's been there for me. I don't know. Growing up, I've always loved weather. I always paid attention to it. It scared me as a kid growing up, storms, especially at night, nightmares the whole time. But kind of got me started young. I guess that fear kind of turned into an interest in it, and since then, I'm trying to figure out the big mystery that is weather. So But that's just kind of who we are. I mean, we're kind of the core of our operations, I guess you would say. But we'll get back to kind of what we've been trying to do this year, what we plan on doing as we go further on here. Switch back over to this. Boom. Boom. Computer was running just a little slow. But, alright, so kind of what we do here. What we plan on doing for this year, at least. Jake, you kind of want to go into detail on this just a little bit? Jake, can you hear me?
Who, me?
Jake? We lose him?
I'm here. Sorry about that. I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh, no, you're good. Alright, that's alright. I'll go over this part at least. But anyway, so for this part of this year, we're trying to kind of revamp our operations. We kind of stopped towards the end of last year, trying to get ready for this year. But we plan on trying to bring daily forecasts back. Not only daily forecasts, try to bring a nationwide forecast on a daily basis. Try to get more information out there so everybody can share, not just for a particular area, but for the general public. But what we'll do, like we're doing tonight, we're starting back up the Google Hangouts. That's one way we plan on talking about our daily extreme weather possibilities. So say we have a big weather event, maybe a severe weather event coming up. We'll get to Google Hangouts, we'll have a big presentation prepared, kind of go over the situation, the setup, and kind of give you an idea of who can expect what. So another thing we plan on bringing back this year. But we tried this at the end of last year. It kind of was hit and miss, but we're kind of working on getting it more reliable. But we're going to go back to doing live chasing. We'll have it pulled up. We'll have links that we'll provide to you whenever we're out, that you can see where we're at, what we're doing, what we're actually seeing while we chase. And then that's what we're kind of doing this tonight, is to get input from you guys, new interesting ways to provide forecasts, whether that be through an app or through email or things like that. So trying to get ideas for this year as well, so we'll see where that goes. But as far as social media goes, if you don't know, most of our stuff we share through Facebook, and that's @SevereWxChasers. Twitter, the same URL. YouTube, that's not a great URL. Just suggest looking up SevereWxChasers in the search bar, you'll find us. We also have a Snapchat that we use whenever we're on chases, believe it or not. So if you use Snapchat, add us on there. We put them on stories and things like that, just to do something a little bit different. We also have Zello as far as walkie-talkie goes. Sometimes we have people chime in to help us out with locations and things like that. But we're also going to bring back our WordPress system that we were using at the beginning of last year. Details are still kind of not all there, but we're working on that too. So, but we'll talk about kind of what we did as far as last year. Our Twitter page kind of posted up what we have set up right now. Not a lot of people really are connected to our Twitter page as much, but it posts watches, advisories, and special statements throughout as soon as they're issued from the NWS, from the National Weather Service. So anytime one is put out, you can click on it, check and see what area it's for, how long it is in effect, and things like all of that. So that's primarily what we use Twitter for. We may change that around this year, but that's a good system to use for warning software goes. All right, Google Hangouts, we did do this last year, and it kind of worked a little bit. Jake was along for one of those. Jake, you remember how much fun we had doing those.
Oh, I remember.
Always had internet problems, things like that, but good thing about them, I mean, they kind of did help on the extreme weather events. We did a few special events that turned out pretty well. Kind of gave us a better idea of a way to show one area that's going to be highly impacted from a system, things like that. So it helped like that, and we could use model data to kind of show what areas are going to be affected, not just through a map, through actually showing you what we looked at. But the problem we had a few problems actually, to be honest, but didn't really prepare too much for them, so they weren't that focused as far as the idea goes. It did take a while because we kind of went from point A to point B to point C, kind of all in different directions, so they did take a while sometimes. And sometimes we kind of went too far in depth and kind of confuse people, which is easy to do. So we're going to try to do a better job at explaining what certain things mean this year to kind of make it a learning tool as well. So we also, this past year, we bought some graphics through a small company, and we started putting out our own forecast, kind of a daily forecast in a random spot, kind of based on request. So this is one example of what we did. We may bring this back this year, depending on kind of what the general public thinks. So we'll kind of go from there. We're going to be posting daily forecasts as it is, so this may be kind of going out of style, but we'll leave it as a possibility. And then we kind of do make our homemade graphics. This is just one example of it, but this is one tool we use to kind of highlight areas based off of the Storm Prediction Center. This is what we based it off of this graphic. We didn't use their exact forecast. We kind of remade it on our own platform. So kind of another tool that we may bring back this year, but will really depend on what you think. But we did get a major sponsor this past year, Atmograph. Jake, you want to kind of go into detail a little bit on how Atmograph works and how we use it?
Atmograph is actually a really nice software suite. You can download it off the internet, and you've got the program on your computer that connects to the internet, and it'll download the model data for you. But one of the things that I really appreciate about it is it has a lot of very high-resolution data available, and it has a whole lot of different options that you don't normally see with a lot of your model websites and things. So it gives us a lot more to look at versus just the basic stuff that a lot of people look at for chases and forecasting. So it's really nice if you want to get in depth and really look at a lot of the hard data.
Yeah, that's what we really use it for. I mean, we take and use these graphics. We will use those to post them up. We'll use them for our own chase, setup possibilities, things like that. This is just one example where Hans Listy index values were near 20, which is crazy. I missed that, but we'll get back to that pretty soon. All right, so new to this year, we've got a few ideas that we're going to play around with and see kind of what happens. Oops. There we go. All right, so this is an idea that actually Adam brought to the table. Adam, you want to kind of explain what we're talking about when we talk about the bi-weekly past chase review?
Well, I mean, we're called Severe Weather Chasers, so obviously I came up with the idea of us just, either through Facebook or through these chats, pretty much let you, the viewer, know, pretty much give you a detailed account of some of the chases that either I've been on or Christian and Jake have been on. We've only chased like 2 times together, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to switch back and forth.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, that's what happens whenever you switch back and forth between the programs. There's a little lag period.
It's been forever since I've done Google Chat, and this is the first time I actually done it for a live YouTube broadcast.
Yeah. It's a little different, but it's all right. But anyway, I'll get back to it. So another thing we're going to do, we kind of touched on this earlier, we're going to bring back a daily nationwide forecast. So what that means is kind of, if you're really into weather, James Spann puts out 2 forecasts every single day online, kind of highlights Alabama, that area, just because that's his area. But we're going to try to evolve on this idea, but kind of consolidate it into a single post, but it cover the events of the entire nation. So we'll get examples out to kind of give you a better idea of what we're thinking about when it comes to that. But should be interesting. I think it'll work out quite well, kind of give everybody an idea of what's going to happen as opposed to doing just one city. So we're going to bring back the special extreme weather hangouts, kind of like what we're doing right now. So that'll be a nice tool. I'm really excited about doing those. These are really fun to me. But also, like I said, bring back the live chasing. going to put a lot of emphasis into that this year because we've got the equipment finally to do it. So definitely going to bring that back. Like we said, we'll have links and things like that coming whenever we get ready for a chase and things like that. Maybe even through that. And then we've got a few other ideas that we're kind of tossing around that are still in the beta testing stage. So once we kind of get a few more ideas, throw them out, we'll kind of do another hangout and go over those as well. But kind of the last thing we're going to really talk about is what we use to do a daily forecast. So let's see here. We already kind of talked about Atmograph, kind of how it works. We'll go ahead and talk about National Weather Service. Let's see here. All right, so the National Weather Service. This is the page right here, weather.gov. This website, if you're looking just to pull up a quick forecast for your area, you know where you're at, you can quickly click in. And get a forecast for your exact location from the National Weather Service, which we use that quite a bit just as a guide to kind of get an idea of what local offices are seeing based off the model data that we see as well. So that's a big tool for us. Another one we use is the Storm Prediction Center. They do a great job. They are actually, the nice thing about living in Norman, Oklahoma is like 2 miles from my house, which is awesome. But Jake, do you want to kind of talk about what the SPC does?
The SPC puts out several forecast products every day for severe weather as well as for fire weather. So this one that we're looking at right now is the day 1 risk, and it basically shows where they expect to see severe weather. And they just recently changed it this year. They included, what is it, 1 new category?
1 new category, 1 change category, basically.
Okay. They just recently changed it, and basically what they do is they look at model data, and these are the guys that it's their job to forecast severe weather. They're some of the best in the nation at it. And we use their products to help us find our target areas, but you guys can use it to help know when severe weather is headed your way. They also post all the watches, any watches that come out, severe thunderstorm watches or tornado watches for your area comes directly from the SPC. So those guys are over a lot of the broader categories, whereas the National Weather Service is a little more focused for your area. Basically, they just are another tool that we can use to help point us in the right direction.
There you go. All right, and another tool we use, and we're really bringing back this year, will be our live streaming, and this is where you can find our stream, and we'll have a more pinpoint location for that once we get it pulled up next year. But we'll pull up on the map whenever we're chasing. We'll give you an idea through our social media where we're at, so you can quickly find us on the map, pull us up, and see what we're seeing. So another big tool for us. We also use YouTube, and we're working on getting that all fixed up.
Christian, if you don't mind.
Yep.
TV and Weather, they do have an app in which, if you have an iPhone or an Android, you can download their app and you can actually watch our live stream on your phone. They also have a way to do it on mobile, but I recommend their app.
Yeah, the app is always a good way to go, in my opinion. But that's just kind of giving you an idea of what we see. Oops. All right. That pretty much covers everything that we really need to talk about, and I don't really see any questions that anybody has at this point. Oops. Does anybody have the live stream pulled up?
I have it pulled up, but there are no questions at the moment.
Okay, well, we'll just sit on here for another minute or two, and if anybody has any questions they can ask. If not, we'll just go ahead and cut this off. I like it nice, short, sweet, to the point kind of deal. So that's kind of what we're thinking about doing. There's a lot of new opportunities that we're going to work with and try to get ready for next year. We're pretty excited. But if there are no questions here in the next minute or two, we'll go ahead and get out of here. kind of impressed. This is the shortest one we've ever done. Before they used to last like 2 hours.
Yeah, the last ones did get kind of bad.
Well, by the time we got set up and ready to go, we were all too flustered about how long it took to get set up. So. All right. Well. All right. Guess we'll call it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and sign off for now. We'll be back. And, well, don't know. Probably in a week or so to do another kind of test broadcast. We'll try a few new things next broadcast, but get that settled in. Get a few ideas going here. And if you guys have any comments, questions, or anything like that, feel free to hit us up on any of our social media, anything like that. All right. Off for now. Everybody have a good one.
See you guys.